Good morning, parents and my dear students. I am Bhavna Prakash, an English teacher for class 8th. Today is 9th of April 2020 and the day is Thursday. Topic of our discussion is adjective and degree of comparison. Student, last time we discussed about how to change noun and verb words into adjective. And based on the position where adjectives are placed in a sentence, we have segregated adjective into attributive and predicative adjective. On the same basis, we have discussed certain questions and I have given you homework on the same. So today it's time to discuss the solution for the homework that we have taken last time. The first question asks you to convert certain noun words into adjective. So water become watery, ice become icy, and syrup become syrupy. The second question asks what is an adjective, and 4 options were given. Option number C, it describes a noun, is a correct one. Third question asks you what is a predicative adjective. 4 options were given, out of which B options, it says it is an adjective that comes after the noun. So it is not just the verb after which if any adjective comes it will be called predicative. Even after noun, if some adjectives are coming, it will be called as predicative adjectives. Whenever it precedes, whenever it comes after noun or verb, it will be called as predicative adjective. Question number 4 says, what is an attributive adjective? Out from the 4 options, A option, it is an adjective that comes before the noun, is the correct one. Question number 5 says, which of the following sentence contain a predicative adjective? Out from the 4 options, option number C is the correct one. Sixth one, which of the following sentence contain an attributive adjective? 4 options were given, out of which C option was the correct one. So this completes your yesterday's homework. Today we will be talking about degree of comparison. There are 3 degrees of comparison in adjective. We have discussed this in previous classes also. What is degree of comparison? Basically, if we tend to compare any person or thing with another person or things, then it is called degree of comparison. There are 3 degrees of comparison in English, which are positive, comparative, and superlative. So now, what is a positive or a comparative or superlative degree of adjective? Positive means only when I am talking generally about any person or a thing, describing it, then it will be positive adjective. But once I tend to compare 2 person or things together, it will be termed as comparative. Whereas in superlative, I will compare 1 person or a thing with the rest of the persons or thing, it becomes superlative. Let's take example. Positive, this book is long. So I'm generally telling you that this book is long. In comparative, this book is longer than that book. Now I'm comparing one book with another book, so it becomes comparative. In comparative, after the adjective, then word will follow. So this becomes very easy to trace down the comparative degree. But this does not happen in all the cases. So be careful. In superlative, it becomes this is the longest book. So whatever book that I have read, this one is the longest one. So I'm comparing one book with all the other books. Second example says the airport is far. This is a normal statement where I am telling you that the airport is far away. The second degree says the airport is farther than the train station. Now I am comparing 2 entities, airport and train station. So it is comparative, comparing 2 things. In superlative, it becomes this is the farthest airport. To whichever airport I have been, this is the farthest. ये सबसे दूर था. So I am comparing one entity with all the other entities. Hence it will become superlative degree. Same goes for the third example. My mom is a good cook, a general statement. But once I compare my mom with any other mom, it becomes comparative. And when I compare my mom with the rest of the mom in the world, it becomes superlative. Alright, so let's talk every degree in detail. The first one is positive degree. We speak about only one person or one thing. This house is big. He is a tall student. This flower is beautiful. He is an intelligent boy. So we are talking about only one entity, that is one house, one student, one flower and one boy, and these are all normal statement. Coming to the second one, comparative degree. We compare two person or thing with each other. For example, this house is bigger than that one. So now this is bigger than this one. I am comparing two things together, hence it becomes comparative. But generally it has been seen that positive degree is also used for comparing things like this house is not big as that one. But make sure that you are using comparative degree in comparing two things, not positive degree in comparing two things. That is why you've been made to understand this. So the term bigger is comparative version of the term big. Both the sentences convey the same meaning, but once two things have been compared, you are supposed to use comparative degree. Superlative, when one thing is being compared to rest of the things, rest of the person or things, it is known as superlative. Example, I can't find my most comfortable jeans. I may have 10 different jeans, but I could not trace down the one that I am most comfortable in. She is the smartest girl in our class. Our class may have 10 girls or 20 girls, but out of those girls, this particular girl is the smartest one. So I am comparing one girl with the rest of the class. This is the most interesting book that I have ever read. I may have read n number of books, but this particular one is the most interesting of all. I am the shortest person in my family. My family members may be many, but I am the shortest among all. So I am comparing one with all, that becomes the superlative form. Now to convert these forms from positive to comparative and superlative, there are certain rules. For example, the first one says you add er or est. Bright become brighter and brightest. Dark become darker and darkest. Smart become smarter and smartest. Now it says the words which are ending at e, they need to drop their e and then they add er and est. So safe becomes safer and safest, nice become nicer and nicest, and wide become wider and widest. You are supposed to drop that e and you have to add er and est, the same one as the first one. The third one says if any adjective consonant, I hope you know what are consonants. So if they are ending with consonant y, so what you're supposed to do, you have to remove that y and you have to put I in place of y and again add er or est. So busy become busier and busiest, crazy become crazier and craziest, happy become happier and happiest. For single syllable adjective which are ending with a single vowel and a consonant, either one of them, so what you will do, you will double that consonant or vowel and then you will add er and est. So flat become flatter and flattest, slim become slimmer and slimmest, fat become fatter and fattest. And in some of the adjectives, you are unable to use er and est. You have to use more and most. It happens with those cases wherein the ending word is a double syllable word. So careful become more careful and most careful, generous become more generous and most generous. Now let's discuss these rules one by one. The first one was adding er and est. Able become abler and ablest, brave become braver and bravest. Similarly further, this chain will go on. You have to learn these by heart and you have to remember these rules also. The second says you have to add er and est. Clever become cleverer and cleverest. Similarly, dear become dear and dearest, and so forward. Now, the third rule says that if the word is ending with a single syllable, you have to double that and you have to add er and est. So big become bigger and biggest, fat become fatter and fattest. Similarly with hot, sad and thin. The next rule says that certain positive forms may not be converted into other forms, other degrees like comparative and superlative. So in order to do that, we have to add most or more to make them into comparative and superlative form. Hence, difficult become more difficult and most difficult instead of difficulter or difficultest, as we generally do. So we will avoid doing it. We have to remember them because these are the specific cases in which the same form or same rules are not being followed. Difficult become more difficult and most difficult. Fascinating will also become more fascinating, most fascinating. Similarly, gorgeous, melodious, and proper. In some cases we don't add er and est, and in some cases we don't add more and most. They altogether differ in comparative and superlative degree. So you have to remember these special cases because bad don't become badder and baddest, it become worse and worst. Good never become gooder or goodest or more good or most good, it become better than best. Little become lesser and least, many become more and most. So you have to learn these rules and learn these special words carefully. So let's practice. Now you have to add correct form of comparative degrees in these following blanks. Some words are given to you. You have to choose accordingly. You have to remember one thing. In positive case, in the positive degree case, what you have to do, you have to use base form of the degree. When we are comparing two things, then you are using a comparative form, er form. And when I am comparing one thing to the rest of the thing, then what we are doing, we are using est form. So the first one says, my mother is dash woman. This is a general statement. So we will use base form. The surgeon worked dash to stabilize the patient. Again, a general statement, positive form. We ran dash than we did last week. So now I am comparing two time zone, present time then the past time. Hence comparative degree, er form. After the party the house was dash it's ever been. So this party compared to all the parties that have been done. So it is the est form, the superlative form. The last one says that you have to underline the comparing adjective degree and you have to tell which particular degree it is. So now let's go and see the answers. My mother is a smart woman. As I told you, positive degree. The surgeon worked quickly to stabilize the patient. Positive degree. We ran faster than we did last week. It is a comparative degree. After the party, the house was the messiest it ever been. So it is the superlative degree. Now Zinx is a hairy dog. Hairy is a positive form. She was the bluest eye I have ever seen. It's a superlative form. He made me madder than I have been in long time. Comparative. Madder. We felt more excited than ever we have heard the news. More excited, it's comparative. So this completes your practice work. Let's recall what we have done. Today we have done 3 degrees of comparison, that is positive, comparative and superlative. Positive कब होती है? जब हम एक चीज के बारे में या एक व्यक्ति के बारे में कुछ बोलते हैं. कंपैरेटिव वो होती है जब हम दो लोगों को आपस में कंपेयर करते हैं या दो चीजों को आपस में कंपेयर करते हैं. और सुपरलेटिव होती है जब हम एक चीज को रेस्ट ऑफ द चीजों के साथ कंपेयर करते हैं. ये कुछ रेफरेंस साइट हैं जिनको खोल करके आप लोग एडिशनल इंफॉर्मेशन रिट्रीव कर सकते हैं, ले सकते हैं, इन्हें पढ़ सकते हैं और अपने ज्ञान को बढ़ा सकते हैं. आज का होमवर्क इस प्रकार है. ये 10 क्वेश्चंस हैं फिल इन द ब्लैंक्स के फॉर्म में, जिसमें आपको कंपैरेटिव सुपरलेटिव डिग्रीज भरनी है एज पर दी सेंटेंस स्ट्रक्चर. तो आज हमने अपना लास्ट टॉपिक कंप्लीट कर लिया है, एडजेक्टिव एंड कंपैरेटिव डिग्रीज का. कल हम एक नए टॉपिक के साथ मिलेंगे. तब तक पेरेंट्स से अनुरोध है कि अब तक हमने जितना भी काम ग्रामर के इस फर्स्ट चैप्टर में करा है वो आप अपने बच्चों को मोटिवेट करके घर में पढ़ने के लिए कहिए. घर पे रहिए, स्वस्थ रहिए और सुरक्षित रहिए. धन्यवाद.